Oh yeah, baby.
4S capable 1/10 scale Redcat Valkyrie Hobbywing ESC Mod 1 gears. And they don't even show it on the box anywhere, but
It's also got a center differential.
when tuned correctly, center differentials tend to add better handling and durability. Now listen, I know this isn't a new model. It came out like 8 months ago. Maybe not quite that long, but I've wanted it since day one. And I could not pass up the Black Friday deal. Oh, honestly, its regular price was pretty darn good too. Oh, that's shinier than it looks in the pictures. Now this Redcat actually shares a lot of parts with this big old WAV racing truck, and I love that thing. Anyway, it's really cold, and Heaty McHeatface really isn't doing that great of a job, so I'll look at some of the differences after we drive this thing. And of course, I've got a brand new one here that you can win. Don't pay attention to that guy.
As usual, the tickets are cheap, around 64 cents to enter. And spoiler alert, I really like this truck.
Tires feel good, like there's gonna be a lot of grip in there. There's definitely some foam. Ooh. The fluid does seem like it might be a little too thick. Yeah, that could just be that it's colder than a Yeti farting out ice cubes in an igloo out here. This is a pretty long wheelbase for a monster truck. We got a nice solid plastic chassis, stout looking wheelie bar on the rear. My fingers probably are too cold to get these. I do like how these body posts go through extra plastic reinforcements front and rear, and it's reinforced rather heavily underneath too. Look at that, ties into the body post, goes inside the cab, mounts to the roof skids, and the front is fastened in place really well too. I want to say these are taller sidewalls than the WAV. Got a little bitty fan on a pretty big motor. That 120 amp Hobbywing ESC looks beautiful. An XT90.
I don't have a single XT90 connector.
Since I have a limited time window at the moment, EC5 connectors do go in there.
It feels like it mates pretty okay.
Polarity is correct. Just for today though, probably, and then I'm gonna swap this connector.
I would not recommend doing that. You never know.
Super stout rear bumper, super stout front bumper. Nice red center drive shaft down there. It's got a little bushing to help keep it from bending or wobbling out of shape at high speeds. Tower to tower upper chassis brace. Double captured tie rods, double captured upper arms. I'm curious how these lower arm pins work. I might take one of those out in a bit. Look at the spread of that bulkhead too. Same in the rear. That's a lot of surface area that should add some strength. Metal 17 millimeter wheel hexes. We already went over the fact it's got oil filled shocks. They're all black, plastic bodied, front rock guards. So the rear ones are backwards. I'm pretty sure that one was the same way. This also had a shock weakness, and I believe they fixed that on this car. Because even though they're different colors, it uses the same shock assembly, I think. Adjustable battery tray length. Got a nice controller here. We got a rubber grip, steering trim, throttle trim, steering EPA.
Now, I don't see a way to slow the truck down.
Look at the size of that servo saver. That is straight up beef.
Okay, I'm running out of time. It's freezing. It's gonna be even worse outside though.
Batteries are all charged. Here we go.
Wow, that is a painfully slow servo. It's a powerful servo though. This is of course just 3S. Look at it raking down in the front. But look at it take off. It pulls back. It looks really cool. See, you know, there's that center differential control, man. It does the things. Could probably be tightened up a little bit. Thickened up, I should say. 37. I thought you were an animal. Big old 4S CNHL going in. Take note, these straps are too small, too short for a big old 4S battery. They'll probably work fine for a smaller capacity one. I am really amazed at that turning radius. That is crazy. Hopefully she gets 50. I don't think it will. My guess is 48. It does veer a little bit under full power. Torque twist or something. Yeah, look at that. Pulling real hard to the right. Look at that. It didn't even traction roll at full speed going sideways. There we go. Oh, into the rock. Oh, man, I like this. It drives really good. 47. Nice. wide stance doesn't let it flip over. Oh, goose poop. If it lands on its lid, it's probably staying there. Ow! I'm glad I got steel toe shoes on. Oh, that's somebody over there using the community dumpster that's not really a community dumpster. I mean, look at all this junk back here. You know how much money I'd save if I used non-community dumpsters? The one time I tried that, probably 5 years ago, someone took a picture of my license plate. One time. Well, I'm definitely not upset with this thing yet. I forgot to add stickers earlier, so I got a couple of those added. Some longer battery straps. Tightened the preload on the front suspension, so now it actually lifts all the way back up. I might do it just a little bit more. Because for what's next, we're gonna need a little bit more suspension. I was gonna take this to the weak little BMX track, but they've got it tarped off for the winter. Somewhere in that wooded area. I remember a place. And yes, it's colder than a snowman's nose.
3 billion miles later.
A little more 3S action real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to go that deep. I'm surprised there's no ice. Oh, here's some ice. Oh! Uh-oh. Hopefully that was just the battery coming unplugged. Oh, it's gonna be cold in here. Yep, battery. Now let's try some 4S. Oh, nice, landed it. Oh God, oh no. Whew. I'm sure I'd lose some toes if I had to walk out there and get this thing. Missed the trail a little bit. So you've got that impressive turning radius, but that comes with overly sensitive steering, making it harder to control at high speeds. Oh, log. Oh! Now, don't get me wrong, it's got really good control, but it's overly sensitive with the minute movements. And it does not return to center very well. Oh, haunted corn maze. Well, that's not corn. Oh man, while I was hoping for that BMX track, that was a pretty fun place. It got super dirty though. Curious how much gunk actually made it all the way in, because those sidewalls are pretty tall. These clips stay on really well. I didn't lose any, but that also means they're harder to pop out without a tool, especially when it ran through ice water. Yeah, it got gross. Oh well, here comes the big stuff. Mailbox. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, jeez. Let's go. You did this so you could get in the warm house, didn't you? Gobble, gobble. 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 Oh, battery. I will say XT90 seems like a weird choice. It's just not very common. Battery again. That connector's loosen up a little bit on me. Obviously, yes, that's because I'm using the wrong connector, so. All right, the car killer, front flips. That was terrible. It didn't flip at all. That was a bad crash though, wow. What was that? Not flipping straight at all. Oh gosh, monster truck, I'm so sorry. Uh-oh, something finally broke. Whoa. Oh, figured something would eventually happen with those front flips, man. This thing was not flipping. I feel like this thing front flipped pretty well. Most likely the bigger tires. For those of you who don't know, the cold weather makes plastic much more brittle and likely to break. Now with the temperature and the big old crashes it was taking, I would not call this an unreasonable break. Actually, it surprised me quite a few times with some of the corner hits it took. And it's like 20 degrees outside. Besides the one Sasquatch stomp that we had that flattened the body, we got a little wrinkle there, but it's not torn or cracked. Body looks perfect, except somehow, probably in the freezing water, I lost the stickers that I put on the side here. Both sides, same sticker. That's weird. So my first recommendation is make sure you use the right battery connector. That should be obvious, but that was 4S, by the way. The motor feels awesome. There's no heat coming off of that whatsoever. ESC feels good. So we broke a lower shock eyelet, and same in the rear. Also though, we broke this front axle shaft. Actually, the plastic snapped in two. I'm impressed and not surprised at the same time. No other damage at all. Now that it's dirty, you can see that drive shaft actually spinning there. I mentioned earlier there's something different about this truck. And I feel like I saw comments on that when this was first released. I don't know how to explain it. It's ultra responsive, especially with steering, and like I said, sometimes too responsive. There's a center differential in here. Definitely part of what gives this good handling, and it didn't feel too loose. It felt really well balanced between front and rear axles. Not to mention it wheelies really well. Okay, so to compare it to the WAV, because there are definitely some differences. Obviously, you have two very different looking bodies. This body's been very durable too. The WAV definitely has an appearance of a bigger vehicle. It's so much wider with massive tires. In fact, you could probably put these on there. But we've got much different control arms. Redcats are a bit more standard. The ESCs look different, but there are still similarities. It's very possible that that is a hobby wing down in there. I can't remember. The drive shaft is a different design. This one almost looks like it telescopes a little bit, and this one doesn't. At least not where you can see it. But there are other minute differences in the chassis. They're certainly similar, but they are not the same. Not saying one's better than the other. I absolutely love this truck. I said I was gonna see how these lower hinge pins are. Okay, so they're not threaded the whole way, but they are beefy. I'll list both of these trucks in the description in case you're interested on learning some more, or obviously if you want to buy one. Don't forget you can still enter to win a brand new one of these guys. I'll list my review video for this down below too.